The fear of being truly seen is something a lot of people carry, even if they don't admit it. On the surface, we all want connection. We say we want people to understand us, to love us for who we are. But deep down, that kind of exposure feels terrifying. Because being seen for who you really are means there's no mask, no shield, nothing to hide behind. It means letting someone close enough that they could reject you not for what you do, not for how you look, not for the roles you play, but for who you actually are at the core. That's one of the most vulnerable things a human being can experience. Psychologists talk about something called fear of intimacy, which is basically the fear of letting yourself be truly known by another person. It doesn't just apply to romantic relationships. It shows up in friendships, in family, even in creative work. The root of this fear often comes from the idea that if people really saw the messy, complicated, unpolished parts of us, they'd turn away. So instead, we build walls. We present versions of ourselves that feel safer. The together one, the funny one, the successful one. Anything that's more palatable, less risky than just being ourselves. But the cost of hiding is high. When you're constantly managing how you're perceived, you never feel fully known. You might have friends, relationships, even accomplishments, but they can feel strangely hollow because they're based on a performance. And deep inside, you still feel alone because no one's connecting with the real you. This fear is often tied to shame. Shame tells us there's something about you that, if people knew it, would make you unlovable. It might come from childhood, from moments where you felt rejected, ridiculed, or unseen. The brain remembers those experiences, and it builds protective strategies around them. So as adults, we keep people at arm's length. We let them see just enough to maintain connection, but never enough to truly risk it. The irony is that what we fear most, being seen for who we really are, is also what we crave most. Because true belonging doesn't come from being liked for a mask. It comes from being accepted, flaws and all. That's why moments of real vulnerability feel so powerful. When you cry in front of someone and they don't pull away, when you admit your fears and they don't laugh, when you let your guard down and someone embraces it, that's when you feel alive, connected, and loved in a way no performance could ever provide. But the fear is real, and it can be paralyzing. You might think, if I show my weakness, people will use it against me. Or, if I show my weirdness, people will think less of me. And honestly, sometimes that does happen. Not everyone can hold space for someone else's truth. But the risk of being seen is also the only path to genuine connection. It's a paradox. The thing that scares you is the very thing that sets you free. From a psychological standpoint, this fear often links back to our need for attachment. As children, we learn quickly what parts of ourselves are acceptable and what parts are not. If crying got us scolded, we learn to hide our sadness. If speaking up got us ignored, we learn to stay quiet. Those lessons follow us into adulthood, shaping how much of ourselves we're willing to show. The problem is, those old survival strategies don't serve us anymore. They keep us safe, yes, but they also keep us lonely. Being truly seen requires courage. It requires peeling back the layers of performance and asking, who am I when I stop trying to be impressive? Who am I when I stop hiding my cracks? That's not easy, but it's the path to freedom. Because the truth is, not everyone will love the real you. But the ones who do, that love will mean everything. Think about the times you felt closest to someone. It wasn't when you were both pretending everything was fine. It was when you let down your guard, when you shared something raw, when you let yourself be imperfect. That's when bonds are built. That's when trust deepens. And that's when you realize being truly seen, as scary as it is also what makes life worth living. The fear of being truly seen will always whisper to you that it's safer to hide. And maybe hiding feels easier in the moment. But easy isn't fulfilling. At some point, you'll have to choose. Do you want to be liked for a version of yourself, or loved for the truth of who you are? And when you choose the latter, you'll see something incredible. You'll realize that the parts of you thought were unlovable are often the very parts that make people connect with you most. Your scars, your quirks, your struggles, those aren't things to cover up. They're what make you human. And it's only when you let yourself be seen that you'll finally feel less alone. So yes, being truly seen is terrifying, but it's also the doorway to the deepest kind of connection and freedom you'll ever know. The mask feels safe, but it's heavy. Take it off. Let yourself be known. It's the only way to ever feel truly loved.